Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. And on today I'm gonna do a tutorial on the Entity Framework Core, and I'm gonna show you guys the basic CRUD applications, the CRUD console app, I would say, using the Entity Framework Core. So let's get started. And before I getting started, I would recommend to read this document, and I'm also following this document, and the only difference is it's using the SQLite, and I'm using the MS SQL Server. All right, so let's begin. So I'll create a console app. So in and by the way, I'm using a Visual Studio 2017 and SQL Server. And let's get started. And in console app, let's give a name. So Entity Framework uh, CodeFirst console. All right, Entity Framework CodeFirst console, and I'll create a console uh, .NET Core, and I'll just do OK. Yes, so I will create a console app. All right, so my console app is created, and if I run this, then it will print a hello world and it will disappear. Well, yeah, it print a hello world and disappear. And so, okay, let's get started. So I will add here couple of packages to get started. So let's go to manage NuGet package manager, and I have a .NET Core app is already installed 2.1, and and let's install the Microsoft Entity Framework Core. I'm gonna install the stable version, accept, okay, and I'm gonna install the Microsoft Framework tools because I want to use this migration stuff here, add migration, drop, stuff like this. And on this one, after this, I will use a SQL server, of course. Uh, oh, where is the SQL? Here, Entity Framework Core SQL. I'm going to install the stable version 2.1.4. Still, I'm using a 2.1, so I think this is going to work, I think. All right, so the things I install it, okay. I will just install the design also. Okay, okay, so everything is gonna install. Okay, it's ready to go. Now I will add the folder models, and I'm gonna add the DBContext class. DBContext CS. Oops, this is a little. So you know what? I'm gonna rename this to block context. Okay. So when I get in, yes. So block context. So I need to inherit this from DBContext, and I'm using this from Entity Framework Core, and I need to override couple of the method, and the one is unconfiguring option builder. On this guy, I can use a SQL server because we added the packages for a SQL server, and we can add here. So we need to put a connection string. So I do have a connection string here for my SQL database, and the database that I'm using here is a block DB, and you guys can see it's empty. So just change to block DB. Now I need to create a DB set, and before I create DB set, I need to create a couple more classes. I can create a new item, and I'm gonna create a block and a post class. So this is a block class. So on a block class, I will give a property ID, and I want to give another property called URL. All right, and I'm gonna give one-to-many connections here, because the block has a many post. So I'm gonna create a list of the I'm gonna create a list of the post, and list is also a property which are the getter and setter. So I'll just create a list of the property. Oh, sorry. Don't know why I type list of the post and post. Okay, list of the post and post. But we don't have a post class. We can create another file, but I'm not gonna create another file. I'm gonna put it right here in the bottom. So post is good, and the post has ID and maybe the content, and post has supposed to be have a one block. So I'll just put here the ID of a block. I'm just gonna post here public int ID of a block, and another one is I'm gonna create a block class getter and setter. Okay, so looks good so far. So I do have this class. Now only thing left is to create a DB set on the DB context so we can use this. So I'll create a property field, and in the property field I will do the post, and no, sorry, it's a DB set, and DB set of the post, and we give a post of getter and setter, because this is gonna be the list. So and another one is a block. So I'll just do this block. All right, so we are ready to go. So now need to go to the package manager console. So on this package manager console, how you can go this here is the tools, you get package manager and see. And the first thing is I want to add a migration, because when we add a migration, then it will keep a track that's what's going on the database. All right, so I'm gonna create the add migrations and init database. This is just a name. Okay, oh sorry, it's a add migration dash migration init database. All right, so now it's gonna add it's gonna create a migration folder here, and it will create a snapshot CS file. I'll just drag and drop here. Okay, so we could also remove these migrations by remove migration, and it create this snapshot model class from the block context, and it's tell us that the ID is it create a table called the block, and the block has the ID and the URL, and same with the post. The post has also the ID, content, ID block, and it says that the block has a many post, and the block post has a foreign key called block ID. All right. So this is cool. So I'll just close this everything now. So here in init database, you can see that C# code is automatically create, and we can push this. It says a create table. It's going to create these tables and create that column, and it's going to push this on database. And to push this on database, we have to give a command called update database. So when you do update database, it says applying migration. And if we run here, if I refresh this guy, then the two tables is being created. This has a primary key, which is called blog. And here's ID. And another one is a blog ID, which is a foreign key. All right. So now let's add some data and get some data, because that's what we want, right? So just go to the blog one more time here. Okay, so I'll just go to here. Okay, okay, looks like this is not even needed. I don't know why I put it. Okay, so let's get started here. The first thing is to add some data. So I'll just create a static method, add blog. All right, so when we are creating this, we have to get the first thing is DBContext. So I'll use a using statement. I'll get a var DBContext equal to new DBContext. It doesn't call DBContext. What's called is a block context. All right, block. I'll just do block. It will not work because it doesn't have a constructor. So I'll just create here a constructor. All right. So now this will work, and we need to, of course, import that. Okay. Now we're adding a data. So the first thing is to create a data. So I'll just create a object. Block is equal to new block, and ID is automatically ID data is automatically created. So we just need to add a URL for the here. So the URL could be anything. I'll just do a test URL. All right, test URL, and equal to. Okay. Oh, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, this is good. Now, on this block, I want to get the blogs specifically, and on this context, I want to add it B. And on the blogs, I want to do save changes. Okay, that's all. So I'll just put it here and run this. Maybe I'll just do here console.readline just for. Okay, so when I run this program now, console app, well, looks like it's added the data. So I'll just go here, edit. Okay, test URL is added in our block table. Good. So the next is we want to update this data. So update block, right? So basically this is nothing, just copy this guy here. So we got this blog, and we create this test URL, and we need to give here the ID. The ID may be the one, because that's the one we want to update this. And instead of this, we can do update It's pretty straightforward. So this is a new test URL, right? And now we just run this. So just change this to this guy and run this. Okay, hello world is printing. Okay, bam. So when I refresh this, test new URL, right? It's changing in table. Good. And I did update, I created, and let's get this data. So I'll create another class called get blog. So if we want to get this blog, list of the blog, then I can do blog is equal to blog, right? Uh, Hold on. Oh yes, I want to get a list of this. So blog dot, it's called blogs, and we can get two lists here. Uh, we're supposed to get two lists. Because it's not using a link, that's why. Yeah, but without two lists also we can able to achieve a data. Well, just to give a shot here. Yeah, two list. And if we do blocks or block, we could still get it, but we specifically do two list here. So I'll just do for each. It's pretty straightforward. So on this list, we can get an item. So I want to print that item, control dot write line. And what do I want to print is item and the URL. Let's print the ID and URL both. Okay, ID and URL. I know there is a URL. I will change that URL. All right. So ID. Okay. So just save this, update this. I don't want this hello world. So I'll just run this now. Okay. Get block. Okay. I got the ID and a URL new test. All right. So I get the fetch a data from database. Now the final is to remove. Remove is nothing. It's a similar same thing. So get removed. Just need to do a block dot remove block dot blocks dot remove and save changes. Save. Oh, sorry. Just block the save changes. All right. So, oh, it has to know what to remove. Forgot about that. Of course. I want to remove this guy. I think we don't need to put this. We just need to put the ID. It will know by the primary key what to remove. So if I put this, if I change this to remove here, and if I run this, right, it's removed. So this is a quick tutorial on the entity framework for basic CRUD applications, and I'm gonna do a more tutorials on the full stack technologies. And if you guys like this video, please do not forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.